See? Good job. Well, why don't we start this up this way this time? Okay. Okay, well then, Bill.
I actually think it's an interesting idea, but I have some concerns with the execution plan. The $52,000 to a guy who runs a golf course or driving race and has to run some servers after that. I'm really concerned about that. But if you have a model where it was, you guys ran the servers in the cloud, for example, and all you had was these terminals that they had to plug in, then if you don't go to the driving range guy and say, here, you got to run the server, those terminals can then communicate up through GRS or something like that. And then you can get maybe a loyalty program where a guy goes up to where he types in their ID and they can track their stuff. You get maybe a driver model. What I didn't see in this, I'll be real quick, is what's the ROI for the driving range guy? What does he get? What does he get out of it when they have 52,000 plus $600 per? If there's a model in there, I don't know if there is, where you just give them the terminals and share revenue with some fashion. That's interesting.
I guess for me, my big concern is well, I'll mention the market first of all. Once again, going after BC first, and all you mentioned was the Canadian market. You got to think big. Got to think North America at least, or global. And in terms of the deal structure, a return on investment of 10% is fully attract an investor. They're looking for at least 40% if they're risking their money.
I thought as far as the presentation, I'd go to the ball flight graphic a little bit sooner. The bag of bullet points, I kind of shut off for that. But when you went to the ball flight graphic, it was like you had a real product. The 21% market increase as far as golf demographics. I'm involved in a global golf deal, and that number is true, but it's kind of misleading in that every year there's a 21% exodus out of the market that sort of makes it flat. And again, I've never pitched anything to a venture capitalist that has a 10% ROI attached to it. That isn't, when you're them looking for you in their rear view.
I would agree with you in that 20-something% exodus. And it's all, I guess, for me, I guess my main concern would be like marketability. And I know you're marketing towards the resorts and stuff, but further, who is the market beyond that, right? Who are the up-and-coming golfers, and how are you going to get them hooked? How are you getting them to use the service? How are you going to get them to look at this as a buy-in when they're going to these golf courses and saying, oh, it has this technology, I'm going to go this golf course over this golf course, right? So it would be nice to see some integration to social media or to different applications to make it more user-friendly. Like, it'd be nice to know how my buddy did. He just went to Facebook and like, boom, this is how my buddy did the golf course. But I can beat that, So it's just small things like that. I don't know if that's usually covered in the 7-minute pitch, but it's something that really, kind of the creative aspect was lacking, I think.
I can kind of address that. Well, the thing is that the main component of this project here was basically the software. A lot of the radar technology out there will end up being designed and spec'd by us, but not built by us, because we just simply don't have the resources or just the expertise to do that. But the software aspect, once we code it and license it out, for instance, someone can come along and might want to use, for instance, an iPhone and integrate it with that. So the information is being directed to the iPhone and bypasses the EPC or whatever that's displaying the information. And for instance, they can also store the information as well. So it's kind of a selling point there, whereas the software is kind of basically the pivotal idea.
I suspect that this project is a technology looking for a market rather than a market pool. Of the three of you, two are geeks and one is a suit. Yeah? Did they bully you into pursuing this project? I didn't see a shred of evidence that the market wanted your product. Do not confuse the number of driving ranges with an assumption that each driving range is a potential customer. I would really like to see the results of meeting with 200 driving range owners to see what they would have to say about your project. You said before, I reiterate, the return on investment you're offering me is woefully inadequate. You need to times 5 it. And finally, in terms of presentation style, each one of you took your turn to turn your back on the audience and address something on the screen. It's all there on the monitor. You don't have to do that.
Thank you.